According to the latest polling data from Rasmussen, about 54% of likely voters believe that it is likely that Joe Biden both knew about and likely profited from his son's overseas business deals. So do you think that could sway voters in your opinion, or should the Trump campaign switch gears here?
No, I think it's of great interest to Trump's base and to most Republican voters, and quite frankly, to some independent voters as well. They want to know, if you're an independent, undecided, there are a few apparently, who they might be electing as president. And look, a lot of this influence peddling happened after the vice president left the White House. That is important. He announced his political path for president in May of 2017. He already knew he was going to be running for president. At this point, what Hunter Biden and his family were doing was selling access to the prospective president of the United States. That is a major, of course, another major scandal out of the Obama-Biden team, and one that the media is trying hard to ignore, to spin as some kind of Russian information campaign. And the last people who Donald Trump should listen to are Senate Republicans on anything. He has the pulse of the American electorate, especially his base. He knows that this is important. There was more news coming out today. So I think the president should trust his instincts. So should his campaign. And there's a lot of interest in the story as it continues to unfold every single day.
We actually have some new audio that I want to play for you in just a second and get your reaction. It allegedly shows Hunter Biden talking about how the prosecutors, SDNY, were kind of sniffing around his business dealings. So there was some interest there. Let's play that real quick.
I get calls from my father to tell me that the New York Times is calling, but my old partner, Eric, who literally has done me harm for I don't know how long, is the one taking the calls because my father will not stop sending the calls to Eric. I have another New York Times reporter calling about my representation of literally, Dr. Patrick Ho, the spy chief of China, who started the company that my partner, who was worth $323 billion, founded, and is now missing. The richest man in the world is missing, who was my partner. He was missing since I last saw him in his $58 million apartment and signed a $4 billion deal to build the largest LNG port in the world. And I am receiving calls from the Southern District of New York, from the U.S. Attorney himself. My best friend in business, Devin, has named me as a witness without telling me in a criminal case. And my father, without telling me.
So listening to that audio, what are some of your takeaways from it?
I mean, that audio just came out today. It's just stunning. You could tell it's Hunter Biden. It sounds just like him and like his father. And so it's just astonishing that we're just now learning about this. It's hard to believe that people didn't know about it before. Obviously, SDNY did. His business partners who are already in trouble with the law. One has already been in jail, and I believe Devin Archer's on his way too. So this is really terrifying to think that how closely this family was tied to our country's biggest foes. And what Hunter Biden basically was a pass-through between all of the international connections that his father has made since the early 90s. You have to remember, he was chairman of the Senate Foreign Relations Committee for years before he was vice president. He has long-term relationships with a lot of these international businessmen and leaders. So Hunter Biden was simply the pass-through to help enrich the Biden family, get the Bidens prepared to run for president. And it's really a shame that the media, mainstream media, is ignoring it, but we have a lot of good outlets like OAN who are following this, and it continues to get attention whether the New York Times likes it or not.